Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to give an honest review of Shuttle Art's acrylic paint markers. Now, I've seen a lot of artists talk about these on TikTok, but I thought I'd make a longer format video going into my personal experience using these markers. I'll talk about the things I do like, the things I don't like, and I might stop here and there to talk about what I'm drawing. This video is not sponsored by Shuttle Art. I purchased these markers full price with my own money. Before we begin, I just want to say that I do really like these markers. Looking at my list, I wrote down way more things that I didn't like than I did like, but I do like them. I think the artists on TikTok hype them up a little more than they deserve, but they've definitely motivated me to get back into drawing traditionally, so I appreciate the markers for that. I bought the largest set they have, containing 60 paint markers for $39.99 on Amazon. Now, I have Amazon Prime, so I didn't have to pay for shipping. These markers are the same price on TikTok Shop, but on there they have different coupons available to make the price lower. But if I had bought them off of TikTok Shop, they would have charged me $8 for shipping, making them more expensive than buying them from Amazon, so I bought them on Amazon. Now, normally, when you buy in bulk, the price per unit gets cheaper the more you buy. That is not the case with the Shuttle Art markers. The bigger the set, the more you pay per unit. I didn't realize this before I bought them, and for whatever reason, it's rubbing me the wrong way, but here are the numbers. For a set of 28 markers, you pay $10.99, coming out to about 39 cents per marker. This is the same whether you buy the brush and dot tip marker combo or the brush and fine tip marker combo. For a set of 36 markers, you pay $19.99, coming out to about 56 cents per marker, which is the same whether you buy the brush and dot tip marker combo or the fine and dot tip marker combo. But if you want the brush and fine tip marker combo for 36 markers, the price jumps up to $21.99, which comes out to 61 cents per marker. I don't know why that is. Because if the brush and fine tip marker combo was a more expensive marker to make, then that price difference would have been reflected in the 28 marker sets, but it isn't, which to me means they're charging more because they feel like it, and I don't like that. The next set you can buy is the 48 pack for $27.99, which comes out to about 58 cents per marker. Now this set is only available in the brush and fine tip marker combo, so if you wanted something else, you're out of luck. Then we have the final and largest set, which is the one I bought, the 60 pack for $39.99, coming out to 67 cents per marker. Now if you notice, this is almost double the price per marker compared to the 28 marker sets. Again, I don't know why this is. This is also only available in the brush and fine tip marker combo. Now, 67 cents per marker is still a good price no matter how you look at it, especially considering that a single Posca marker goes for about $4. Though I don't know the liquid paint content in either of those markers, so I can't really compare them. There might be a good reason as to why the price per marker gets more expensive as the sets get bigger, but I don't know what that reason could be, so just as an average consumer, it feels a little dirty. Moving on, it should be noted that Shuttle Art does not allow you to buy any of these markers individually. So if you run out of your favorite marker, you're gonna have to either buy a whole new set or cry about it. Just something to keep in mind. The first thing I noticed when I opened the box was that the markers were not labeled. They didn't have numbered caps or color names along the barrel. Luckily, I had sticker paper, so I was able to make my own labels for the caps, but that took me a couple hours to do since I had to cut out these tiny circles and number them by hand. And I had to do that twice since the markers are double-sided. It would have been faster and easier to make a label for the barrel, but it's recommended that the markers be stored horizontally, so that would have defeated the purpose of labeling them at all, since you can't see the barrel when they're resting on top of each other. The markers also don't come with a swatch sheet, pre-filled or otherwise. On the listing, it had a digital preview of all the colors, but that isn't included in the box. It isn't a big deal because you can make your own swatches, but again, the markers aren't labeled, so unless you label them yourself, you're gonna have to guess which of these markers goes with which swatch. It would have been nice if they included a little numbered printout of the color swatches from the listing, so you at least have something to go off of if you didn't want to make your own swatches. These markers are really easy to use. You can use them straight out of the box without having to pump the paint out. These are the first acrylic paint markers I've ever used, but I could see the pumping being kind of annoying, so I was happy that I didn't have to do that. I did notice that on the box it says you do have to pump the markers, but that wasn't the case. In the listing it says that isn't necessary because the markers have a new design, but you would think with the extra 28 cents I'm paying per marker, they could afford to update the packaging, but I guess that's just too much. I was actually surprised to see that the sizing of the nibs was pretty accurate. The fine nib can go to 1 millimeter, though using it with normal pressure makes it a bit thicker, and the brush tip does go from 1 to 5 millimeter. The brush tip is pretty soft too, so it's really easy to get nice line variations in your drawings. Another thing that surprised me was that these markers do not smell. If you've used alcohol markers before, you know that those things can stick up your whole working area, obviously because of alcohol, but these markers are not like that. You really have to have them right up to your nose to smell anything, and I have really sensitive sinuses. So I'm really happy about that. The paint dries really fast, like a couple seconds after you put it down. I didn't have to worry about the paint getting all over my hands or picking up paint from layers I had done previously. The only time I had to wait for the paint to dry was when I was coloring really heavy, and by that I mean going over the same area again and again. Even then, the wait was less than a minute. I would just go to color another part of the drawing, and by the time I finished that, it was dry. I hate waiting for paint to dry. That's one of the reasons I don't do it so often, but I didn't have to worry about that when I was using these markers. Each pack has a nice variety of regular colors and metallic colors. The 60 pack in particular comes with 45 regular colors and 15 metallic colors. Now this is just a personal preference, but I do not like metallic paints. So I don't like that a fourth of my markers are metallic. I feel like that's too many, at least it is for me. I wish that instead there were only a couple metallic markers included in the set and maybe have a separate pack available that only includes metallic markers. That way we can have more regular colors in each set. Here's a pie chart comparing the amount of regular colors to metallic colors in each pack. The 28 pack comes with 6 metallic markers, making up 21% of the set. The 36 pack also comes with 6 metallic markers, making up 17% of the set. The 48 pack comes with 12 metallic colors, making up 25% of the set. And the 60 pack comes with 15 metallic colors, also making up 25% of the set. I also created a pie chart for each different pack to illustrate the quantity of each color included. This is based solely on the color chart that's shown in the listings. I excluded all of the metallic colors just because I don't feel like they really count. Note that for easier categorization, I labeled everything that I'd consider a skin color as brown. For the 28 pack, you get 22 regular colors. That includes 1 white, 1 gray, 1 black, 2 red, 2 yellow, 4 blue, 4 green, 1 orange, 3 pink, 2 purple, and 1 brown. For the 36 pack, you get 30 regular colors. That includes 1 white, 2 gray, 1 black, 2 red, 3 yellow, 5 blue, 5 green, 1 orange, 5 pink, 3 purple, and 2 brown. For the 48 pack, you get 36 regular colors. That includes 1 white, 1 gray, 1 black, 1 red, 6 yellow, 6 blue, 7 green, 2 orange, 5 pink, 4 purple, and 2 brown. And then the 60 pack has 45 regular colors, which includes 1 white, 1 gray, 1 black, 2 red, 8 yellow, 6 blue, 8 green, 2 orange, 8 pink, 4 purple, and 4 brown. While creating these pie charts, I noticed something interesting. The set of 60 markers I received is not the one that was advertised to me in the listing. Doing a side-by-side comparison of my swatches and theirs, you can see that they are not the same. Now, I understand that there are going to be some color discrepancies because a screen isn't always accurate to real life, but I literally have different markers. And remember, these markers are not labeled in any way, so there's no way for me to know for sure that I have exactly the same markers as shown in the listing. All I have are their swatch sheet and mine, and based on that, their listing is inaccurate. Pie chart. That is not okay to me. You should get the colors that they say you're going to get, especially when you're paying $40. Now, to a child, I don't think it's going to matter either way, but for an artist, I'm sure you have plans for the markers you think you're receiving. Luckily, the colors I was most excited for were in here, but if they weren't, I'd have a huge problem with that. I don't know if my box is the only one like that, but as a precaution, don't expect every color you see in the listing. Another thing about the swatches in the listing, the colors are inconsistent. You can see that the apple green in the 28 pack is way brighter and more saturated than the one in the 36 pack. And assuming the apple green in the 36 pack is the correct color, that name gets dropped completely and replaced with the name grass green in the 48 and 60 pack. And let's not forget this pretty pink color aptly titled blackish green. Yeah. Suffice to say, you don't really know what colors you're buying, and apparently Shuttle art doesn't either. And there are not a lot of skin colors. I don't know where to put this in the script, so I'm putting it right here. Depending on the pack you get, for lighter skin you can expect 1 to 3 different colors. For darker skin you can expect 1 to 2, with some packs not having any at all. So if you draw people a lot, I suggest going with the 60 pack. That one seems to have all the skin colors they carry. If they give them to you, that is. I still can't get over that. Besides all that, the colors themselves are really vibrant. Because it is paint, you can get these pops in colors that you just can't with alcohol markers. And since the colors are opaque, you aren't stuck working from light to dark. You can work from dark to light if you want to. The colors linger on top of each other pretty easy. Sometimes you do have to do a few coats of paint to fully cover up some of the darker colors, but that's better than not being able to at all. Gradients are somewhat achievable with these markers if you layer them correctly, but since you can't mix colors, you kind of have to go back and forth between the colors to get the desired effect. The packs do come with a pretty nice variety of color no matter which set you get, so you'll have access to light and dark shades of most of the colors. The caps of the markers don't match the paint that actually comes out of them, but a lot of markers are that way, so I'm not going to knock Shuttle art too much for them. I definitely recommend having a swatch sheet and labeling the markers so you don't have to fumble through the box trying to find the one that you want. The opacity of the markers does vary from use to use, at least for me. Sometimes the paint comes out nice and thick, and other times it comes out pretty thin. It isn't the biggest deal, it just means you might have to add a couple extra layers of that color. The paint does pile on the paper sometimes when I'm using them, but I'm not 100% sure if it's the paint itself, the paper, or if some of the fibers from the tip came off and got trapped under the layer of paint. It doesn't matter too much to me since I use these in my sketchbook, but I could see it being annoying if you were trying to make a legit painting. I've noticed that the paint does dry up in the tip every few sessions or so. At first I thought the marker was dead, but I was able to get it working again after pulling out the nib, rinsing it out until the water runs clear, then putting it back in the marker and letting it rest horizontally for some time. I've had to do this a couple of times now and it is kind of annoying, but these are my first paint markers, so I'm not sure how common this is. I think one of the metallic paint markers I have is permanently ruined, which is upsetting because I've only used it once after swatching it. I'm not sure what happened, but when I went to paint, I noticed that my metallic marker wasn't metallic anymore. I just tried swatching and swatching to get those silver deposits to come back, but they wouldn't. So I thought maybe they were clogged in the tip, so I treated it like I would a dry marker. After rinsing it and letting it sit, this is the result. It's not fixed, but it's definitely better than what it was before. It's a little shimmery, I guess, but it's nothing compared to how it was when I first got it. If you look at the nibs, the silver deposits are very prominent on the fine tip, but they refuse to concentrate that much on the brush tip. But if you notice, the color from after I rinsed it is almost an exact match to the cap color, which actually leads me to believe that this is what they were supposed to look like, and for whatever reason the shimmer was too concentrated directly out of the factory. I actually prefer this more. The silver effect was a little overpowering for me. You can hardly see what color the marker is supposed to be. And they layer terribly. You can see all the brush strokes with the metallic markers. Again, I don't know which way is the correct one, but I'm leaning toward the direction of my ruined marker. I might just rinse out all the metallic tips to make them like that. Dang, I didn't talk about my drawing at all. I drew some clouds, some water, Luffy, some girls, mushrooms, and a lightning bug. Yep, artiste over here. Again, I really do like these markers. I was not planning on talking so much crap, but as I actually started thinking about it, there is a lot wrong with them. You can definitely buy these markers and enjoy them. I've been using them basically every day for the past 2 weeks and they're fine. If you're just messing around in your sketchbook or doing some arts and crafts, these markers are great. They do exactly what they need to do, and the price isn't terrible for the amount of colors you get. If you were looking to use these markers more professionally, like on finished work, I would advise against it. I'm sure there are higher quality markers out there that you'll be more satisfied with, but that's my own personal opinion. You could make finished work out of Crayola crayons for all I care. You do you. If it works, then it works. But that is all I have for you guys today. I want to thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.